Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? With NFL player, former NFL player Quintus McDonald, and all kinds of charitable fundraising and stuff. And Gina, who's here? Let's go.
Incredible. All right. We have this rock star attorney mother from NYC with like 3 older children and 3 dogs. She takes an holistic approach in her firm and is the only woman-owned law firm in NYC with workers' compensation and Social Security disability law specialties. Welcome, Nicole Henriquez.
Ooh. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you, Nicole?
Great. I'm doing great today. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the fine work you're doing in the world. I'm imagining that you have a lot of interesting matters and cases you handle, probably things from chronic fatigue syndrome to fibromyalgia and all sorts of complex dynamics in Social Security disability. Yes?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
So many more.
Yes. And I had the unique privilege. My fun fact for today, Nicole, is I did more than 100 Social Security disability hearings back in the late 90s, in the very beginning of my legal career.
Oh, wow. Okay. I find it very interesting. I love the federal law, and I love having those, unique conditions like what you named, even multiple sclerosis, sickle cell anemia, and winning those cases. So I'm sure you know.
I do. And thank you. I'm actually blind, in case you don't know. My grandfather was blind and Social Security disability and was a major part of what permitted my grandfather and grandmother to survive and to raise my mom and my aunts. And my Aunt Barbara Comerford is a Social Security disability attorney in the state of New Jersey. Don't know if you ever came across her, but she does a lot of Social Security work as well. So thank you for what you do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
And how about you? How about what's a fun fact about you, Nicole?
I have a TikTok account with 9,000 followers, and I only did it as a dare to my 25-year-old daughter because she told me I was too old to have a TikTok account. So I had to prove her wrong.
Are there videos of you dancing on TikTok?
Yes, there are. But I'm not going to let you know the name.
All right, Unblinded team, let us research Nicole's TikTok videos starting now.
Oh, yes.
All right, Nicole, thank you for being here today.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you. Gina.
Next up, From Miami, this entrepreneur, EVP Stephen Giesis, EVP of Smartland, the Smartland Vision, Smartland Standards. He's here with us today. Welcome, Steve Giesis, to The Real Raw.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the introduction.
Nice. And you go by Steve or Steven?
Either one's good. Either one's good.
What
Don't discriminate between the two.
So you're like 50-50 plus a feather, neither way, just like straight 50-50?
Yep, you got it. You got it. Exactly that way.
All right, so we'll go Steve then. Thank you.
All right.
And Steve, what's your fun fact?
Fun facts, immigrated to the United States at the age of 5. Bare knuckle brawl, to get to where we're at now. Growing a business, have a family, 3 boys. That's the fun facts about me.
Yeah. What was the most challenging part of your bare knuckle brawl?
Everything, proving our existence over the last decade to clients, and becoming a intricate part of their financial wealth building, and just kind of maturing in that role, and showing track record, and just making headway through the years.
Well, Steve, thank you for being here today, man.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Gina, we got some judges for Nicole and Steve.
We have a childhood friend of AG's, Sean, out of Old Bridge, New Jersey.
Ooh.
Yes, Dave Wolven, Director of Business Development, the Key Arcs Group. Welcome to The Real Raw.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Sean. Nice to meet you. And yes, Adam and I know each other for about 40 years. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. So you're very lucky to have him on the roster, but I'm sure you know that.
Yeah, no, incredibly blessed, Dave. And so you live in Old Bridge, correct?
Yep, grew up in Fairlawn, that's where Adam and I grew up.
Yeah. Were you did you play Little League baseball with Adam or no?
I did.
Were you part of
Little League?
Were you part of the famed 12-year-old B team that beat the A team and all that stuff?
I probably was. It's been a while, but I'm going to say yes, just because I want to sound important. Yeah.
So,
that was me.
Yeah, amazing. So that's one of Adam's favorite athletic stories of all time, and it's an awesome one. For the Bad News Bears B team beating the A team, and politics come into play and all of it. So, Dave, thank you for being here. What's your fun fact?
Now, Dave, your fun fact has to include a good story with Adam DeGino, or it's not a fun fact.
I don't know if I'm allowed to even get into that stuff with you. I think he had me sign an NDA.
No.
What I'm allowed to go through with you folks. So
that's why this is called The Real Raw, Dave. Come on.
Two, I guess, fun fact. Well, one isn't a fun fact, but one helped me identify with Sean. My mother was blinded in an accident when she was 16, and so she lost the vision completely in one eye. And now, she's got diabetes, and as her good eye has gotten considerably worse. So I saw her from the time I was a kid. Everything she did, nothing held her back. And it was just, again, it's not a fun fact, but it's something that makes me feel a little bit, we respect folks anyway, but it's even a more, level of respect for everything you guys have done. And then another fun fact, I don't know, I'm not that fun. Again, I guess, and I have a twin brother who's also in the finance business with me and who knows Adam for a long time. And I don't know any really other fun facts about myself.
Well, how about this? Did you ever go to one of Adam's clubs as he was launching things back in the day?
So back in the day, Adam was quite the promoter back in the day. So I remember him working on a couple of events, and we would run into each other periodically. I was never really into I wasn't like one of the club guys, but I would run into him from time to time. And the one thing I will tell you, this, he's just always been a hustler, and he's been successful at everything he's done. And that's one of I stumbled across a video of him doing The Real Raw with Jared. And that's one of the reasons that prompted me to come here and have some dialogue with you guys, because it actually works what you guys are talking about. So I had some good experience using some of your tools.
Adam built a $750 million company starting from $3 million, and we've done some other pretty blessed things. So thank you, Dave, for being here, and really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gina.
Next up, Sumit Kapoor from Ohio, pickleball playing, competitive sports loving, high return, low risk commercial real estate. And this man is a rock star. Welcome, Sumit. Glad you're here today.
Thanks, Gina.
Sumit, you're a pickleball player.
Tennis, pickleball, ping pong, you name it, Sean. I'll take it in a match.
All the right sports. Yes. I would definitely think you would do quite well against me. I would give you strong odds.
You give me that.
Right. And so what's your fun fact?
I could win against you, Sean.
Yes, I think that is.
That's also, he'd give you the odds, Bella.
Yeah.
But I don't think you want to hit like double black diamond or a ski slope. I'm sorry, or surf in a hurricane. I think we have a shot there, Bella. What do you think?
You definitely have a shot there.
Yeah. So Sumit, what's your fun fact?
Yeah, so I was previous on one, so I won't share that same fun fact. But I don't know if it's coincidence or I get to relax in my busy mind when I travel. But a fun fact is I feel like, at least in my network, that I've missed the most amount of, or had coincidentally rescheduled flights when I've been traveling internationally. So one that comes to mind is like Honduras on a scuba diving trip. Made my one connecting flight, but missed one. And in many of these instances coming back internationally, I've always put my phone, wallet, and keys with my bags, and had some separation with them in many instances. So fun fact, but maybe also either if you are ever to travel with me, be the one who's holding a phone, keys, and wallet.
You and Sean Callaghy should definitely not travel together.
Yes, I am.
You would never make it to your destination.
We never would. But I'm wondering, that is very true, Belleria. But I'm wondering, was your trip, Sumit, to Roatan in Honduras?
Yeah, so I did go to Roatan, but it was actually Utila. So
Utila, even better. Whale sharks? Any whale sharks?
Not whale sharks. What are the poisonous ones that you like spearfish underneath? Like
Stonefish?
It wasn't a stonefish. I'm forgetting this was almost 4 years ago. I'm forgetting the exact one, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it was beautiful. I'd only scuba dived one other time in Hawaii. And before, I'd always been the biggest scaredy cat of any big body of water because of being afraid of the sharks when I was too young. So fell in love with being under the water and like really discovering a new planet.
Dude, and did you fly? Did you miss your flight? Watch this, Belleria, for specific, unique knowledge. Did you miss your flight going through Tegucigalpa? Does that ring a bell?
Yes. So I flew from Utila and I thought it was like on the way there, I took a boat. So a little shuttle boat, almost got seasick and pretty strong in terms of travel on that. But on the way back, I got in this little jumper plane and the guy says, it's my first flight. He crosses it. It's like a 4-person flight. I get to that next one and they must have been translating. There's only one flight out of there a day. They were translating in Spanish, which I don't speak. And I missed the flight. Everyone got on the flight. There was like 16 people sitting in front of it. I literally missed the flight because no one grabbed me. And that's coincidentally how it's happened.
You made it back alive though, from poisoning fish to not speaking the language to missing your flight. But we have Sumit here and we're grateful.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
Excellent job. Gina.
Next up, Mr. Chris Robbins, here to elevate the level of financial literacy for our society, wealth educator, retirement planning, owner of Michigan Financial Insights. Welcome to The Real Raw, Chris Robbins.
Thank you, Gina, and thank you, Sean, for having me here. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah, Chris, thank you for being here, man. And where you're from in the world?
I am from Ann Arbor, so basically home of University of Michigan. Yeah, it's a quite interesting town. You know, interesting people, yeah.
So Michigan, Ann Arbor, we have a player that I coached in club baseball with my son, Jake Denner, who is now a junior in Michigan, and he's a pitcher there. Actually, no, I'm sorry, he's a sophomore in Michigan. He's a pitcher, and he gets innings. As a freshman, he got some innings. So incredible program, incredible pitcher. And what's your fun fact?
My fun fact, since you guys mentioned ping pong, my dad was actually a table tennis champion. We say table tennis is more appropriate, I guess you can say, way of saying ping pong in my household. Yeah, he was a U.S. junior champion, and I grew up playing table tennis. We sold recreational equipment, and I I had a lot of experience, drilling forehands and stuff like that. So I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. So can we get you and Sumit to like go head to head for money?
Oh, well, if he has a good serve, I think he has a really good chance.
Awesome. Well, listen, Chris, we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, Gina.
Last up, this heart attack survivor, 30 pounds lighter, stand-up comedian, runs 3/4 of his law firm in New York City. Mr. Michael Byrne, welcome to The Real Raw.
Wait, Michael, you're a stand-up comedian and an attorney. Is this true?
This is true. Yes.
Extraordinary. So what's your fun fact?
Well, I think I used them all up when I gave them all to Gina, but one of my very best friends is an analyst for a very large firm, and he's always being chased for years and years. He's chased around by salesmen and going to this and going to that, and we were pretty inseparable. So I was freeloading for years and years, and then we won a fantasy football league, and I decided we'd throw a party for all these salesmen who solicit him regularly. And that became, turned into a beer pong party because we're all 12 years old or 17, I guess. And it became one of
It
the-
was like beer pong at 12?
Yeah.
That little young started beer pong.
Well, not in Queens, but anyway, it became an absolutely huge event with over the last one just before the pandemic. I think we had 135 people. Yeah, and it's really just a lot of fun. It's a very valued ticket in certain Wall Street circles amongst buy side and sell side analysts, and it's it was just this little like, hey, we have this money, let's take care of these guys, and became this great party where I guess we'll celebrate our 10th year of it this year instead of last year.
Congratulations. That is awesome. So it's like ping pong day on The Real Raw. I love it. So seriously, Michael, thank you so much for being here. Speaking of ping pong, this woman started selling crafts from her front lawn as a small tot at the age of 8. She progressed to beer pong by the age of 11. She then progressed to bongs after that, and then went on to become a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing, transitioning all of this magic into amazingness, became the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, is now the president, CEO, and chief sales sorceress of Align Sales / Align Talent, making magic happen in the world. She is heart-centered, she is strong, she is confident, she is certain, and she is the co-host of The Real Raw, the one, the only, Bella Verita. Bella.
Sean Callaghy. Hello, sir.
How the heck are you? Was that like a nice intro or no?
That is a fantastic introduction.
All right. Did I have it right about the beer pong and the bongs or no?
Those might have been true statements. There could have been bongs and beer pong all at the same time. But let's go on.
Amazing. And what is your fun fact besides beer pong and bongs?
My fun fact is yesterday I was in 4 cities. So I like to travel, Sumit as well. And yesterday I might have been in 4 different cities, didn't get home until 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
And what 4 cities were you in?
Oh, if I'm yawning, I apologize. I started off in Houston. I went to Austin. Then I went to Miami. Then I came back home to Fort Lauderdale.
That is no joke. Bella Verita, ladies and gentlemen. The chief sales sorceress.
And I was still so committed to getting to the gym this morning that when I woke up and my hybrid had died, I ran my ass to the gym at 6:15 this morning after 4 hours of sleep.
That is an outstanding fun fact, Bella Verita. You are truly a warrior. So, Bella, amazing. Gina, we love you. Great job today. We will see you from the multiverse, my friend.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sean. Love you guys. Thanks for creating this crazy fun experience, Sean, where heart-centered, integrous influence is present and growing money and time and magic for many. I love you. Have fun, everybody. Bye.
Love you too. Great job, Gina.
Bye, Gina.
Bella, who's going first?
Ooh, let's go with Steve.
Steve.
Sounds great. Let's go. What are we doing?
Lots of questions. Choose me.
So Bella Verita. So by the way, what are we doing? That is an amazing question. Bella.
Playing beer pong, yes?
What the hell are we even doing here? I don't know. We do this every day. There's going like 3,000 people here. I still don't know what the hell we're doing. No. we're just
beer pong.
Yes, we play beer pong. So no, what we're actually doing is we're unpacking Integrous influence as a superpower that it is, because everything that's ever happened in the history of the world has happened after yes. It took yes to win the Miracle on Ice. It took yes for Muhammad Ali to be trained by Angelo Dundee to win the Rumble in the Jungle. It took yes to create the United States. It took yes for Paul Revere to wake people up against the Redcoats. It took yes for Martin Luther King and yes for Malcolm X. It took yeses across the board. So we're here to unpack yes, but not Boiler Room meets Wolf of Wall Street, not pitching, hooking, closing. No, instead, Integrous yes, which means adding more value than we're taking. That's what we're doing, because that's what drives your marketing, your sales, your leading, your recruiting, your managing, your fundraising, charitable or otherwise. That's what we're doing. And we're very grateful for each and every one of you being here today, for your courage and vulnerability. And I wasn't kidding. We have more than 3,000 people not watch this show, but be on this show since COVID has begun. So thank you. And Belle will be anybody you want her to be for Nicole and Steve. And what we're really playing with is that yes. What's the yes that you're authentically seeking in the world? She will be that person. And the yes doesn't have to be a sale, doesn't have to be about money. It could be a yes just for a longer meeting. It's really assessing opening of listening, depth of connection, dealing with the crazy dynamics of life, and how we go from hello to yes in integrity. So Steve, please, who would you like Bella to be?
Oh man, got it. I'm really into yes. So I don't really, I'm not really into no's in general. And so I'm not sure I have, I'm necessarily overly prepared or underprepared for whom I want Bella to be. But I come from a yes world, so it's difficult for me to unpack a yes when I'm already yes. I'm not a negative human from just a natural perspective. And so I don't feel that there's a mountain that can't be climbed.
So it could be an ideal client, could be a partner, could be somebody you're leading, somebody you're working something through with, whatever a yes would matter to you in your life at this point.
Got it. All right. Can we circle back to me? And I'll, I need a moment to process my brain.
Yeah, sure. So, but how about absolutely, I'll help support the processing. You have clients, correct?
We have clients. Yep.
Yeah. And do you want more clients? Or you have all the clients you'd ever want and need?
We always want more clients.
Cool. Okay. So Bella could be just a potential client that you're either speaking to after some engagement somehow led to the conversation, or you happen to randomly meet after you were at a speaking engagement or just bump into. So we'll come back to you, but it could be any scenario like that where you're setting up a meeting and want to share the amazingness of what you do. But we will come back. Sound good?
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Yeah. Nicole, who would you like Bella to be?
Yes. Well, I'm glad Steve went first because I had no idea. I guess a doctor that wants to refer a case to me.
Perfect. All right. So Bella Verita, here's who you are. You ready?
Yes, sir.
You are an expert in dealing with confusing illnesses that are sort of challenging to diagnose, like fibromyalgia, irritable bowel syndrome, chronic fatigue syndrome, and you don't like lawyers. And you especially don't like disability lawyers, because your conclusion is that you love these people, they just want their cases, and they don't do enough to fight for them. They want the easy cases, not the hard ones. And you're like, who are you and what's going on? Because you got a patient needs help. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, take us in.
Hello, is this Nicole?
Yes, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well today, thank you. Yes, thanks so much for giving me a call back. I noticed that you handle some complicated cases, some patients, and I'd like to see if I can assist you with them.
Yeah, assist me how?
Well, I'm an attorney. I do handle Social Security disability, and I really like to delve into these difficult cases that most other attorneys turn down. I've had personal experiences in my own life, and it's given me a passion to help people who cannot get help from other attorneys. So I feel that I could assist your patients in getting what they need, and they'll hopefully become happier patients within their disability. Unfortunately, these types of conditions are chronic, long-standing conditions, but I believe quality of life is important. And if we can help them financially to gain their Social Security disability benefits, I believe that will also help them physically.
Yeah. So I get like 100 of these calls a day, and attorneys always wanting to work with us. They all want the same thing. So, you know, why do you think I should work with you?
Well, first of all, I never usually make these phone calls, but you know, I figured with the pandemic, it's something that I may have to do coming out of my comfort zone. Most of my clients are come from other clients, referral based. It's been word of mouth because I am very passionate about the job that I do, and I go the extra mile for my clients. But because of the pandemic, I'm in a situation where I now have to reach out to doctors because I'm no longer able to meet them in, you know, social settings. But I do believe that I'm the right person to do this. I do have compassion as a woman. I'm a multitasker. Naturally, I do have 3 children, and I'm able to use my skills as an attorney and as a multitasker to assist your patients.
Got it. So
I'd love to meet with you in person too.
Yeah.
One day.
How long have you been doing this? And you know, I'm sure you know other attorneys that do this. And so what makes you think like I should, you know, give you a chance over all the other attorneys, that hundreds of attorneys that call all the time?
So I give personal attention to my clients. Most of my clients have my cell phone number, and they either email me or text me or call me. And you should give me the patients, because I'm going to give you a call back and let you know an update on your patients, not just deal with the patients. And so that you'll have a circle, you know, I will close that gap with what is happening with the patients and what the patient is telling you.
I
think most attorneys don't do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, Bella, you got to take a quick phone call. Your accountant's on the line, and he's saying all that cash that you haven't reported is becoming a problem. So can you take the call?
Uh-oh. I'll be right back, Nicole.
All right, Nicole, Bella will be right back. She's got to take an important phone call. So can you hold on for a moment?
Definitely.
Outstanding. All right, Steve, back for you.
Okay, we're back.
Yes.
We're back.
Who would you like Bella to be?
Okay, Bella has to be a institutional check. So we're in the process of, we just launched our largest fund to date. It's large for us, maybe not large on a world scale. It's a $100 million equity fund to purchase vintage multifamily in 2 marketplaces, Ohio and Florida. So we're expanding our footprint as far as our available cash, dry powder to be able to deploy quickly.
So Steve, how about this? Bella is the same doctor. She's got that cash burning a hole in her pocket, and she's probably somebody good to talk to. Does that sound good?
Yeah, Bella has got institutional grade $30 million checkbook.
Yeah.
All right.
Institutional grade $30 million checkbook, because what she's done with her medical practice is expanded. She's got 18 offices around the country.
Boom.
She's did a ton of liquidity. She's rocking it out, and she's looking to do something with her cash. So
excellent.
Take us in.
All right, Bella, welcome. So thanks for taking your time with me today. And what we're looking to do is kind of, get a feel for if you currently participate in real estate, if you've had some interest in participating in real estate. Essentially, what we help do is help build wealth for you while you're prioritizing your time on your professional goals, and continue to build your business. So a lot of busy professionals, such as doctors, such as yourself, many of times are seeking, alternative investment vehicles. And what our company specializes in is that we have a proven track record, both in the Ohio and Florida marketplace, for doing a very heavy value add to vintage multifamily. So our core product is really isolated in the middle market, and we focus on middle market residents. So we're not the class A and we're not the class D, we're right in the middle. And we believe that's kind of the sweet spot where we're able to kind of revitalize people's lives inherently through our large lifts that we're doing in these multifamily properties. So we're not only elevating the properties themselves, but we're elevating the individuals at the property. So we take kind of a holistic approach, and we believe that everybody should be entitled to good living, high quality living conditions. And through that mantra, we do infusions of tech into the new units. We institute community building through installations of large pet parks and EV charging stations, and really providing that middle market renter segment something to be proud of where they live without having to pay a big premium. And so as we go through this venture at these properties, we find that we're typically we don't have a lot of competition within the submarkets that we're playing in. And so that gives us an opportunity to, increase rents and also be ready and cognizant of any type of downturns that may be looming in the economy.
Yeah. Hey, Bella, you got a quick phone call. It's Chris Crone online, and he's saying that he's got 150 houses for you to buy directly. You don't need to be in a fund. So I don't know. You might want to take this. I know you're talking to Steve. Maybe we can figure this all out.
Give me a good deal. Let me go check this out. I'll be back.
Yeah, well, Chris doesn't bring the same opportunity as we bring to the table. What you're talking about is apples and oranges here. If you're going to be 150 homes filtering through a management, you have to consider yourself that, are you risk adverse to be able to handle being on an island by yourself, one home at a time, meaning that if something arises at each individual property, do you have enough blended cash flow coming in?
Yes. So she's going to be right back. I knew we would activate Steve, Bella. I knew we would activate Steve. Steve is now activated. That's what we do. What we do.
Well, we're in both. We're in both the single family segment and the multifamily segment. Our portfolios right 50-50. So we can go toe to toe with Chris.
I know. I can't wait. I want to see you blow him up in round 2 for fun. So that's what I was doing. So I was having some fun. So thank you for that, Steve.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome, man. All right, let's go to the judges. So judges, we're going to go split up a little bit and figure out who's who, what's what in terms of scoring. So we're going to go Dave and Sumit. We're going to give some feedback for Nicole. And then Chris and Michael give some feedback to Steve. So let's go, Dave. Please, 30 seconds, 15 seconds what worked, 15 seconds what can be optimized, and a score on a scale of 1 to 10, please.
So I think one of the great things she was doing was explaining, what she does, how she's a little bit different. I think there may have been some access points when Bella turned around and said, I get a lot of calls. Maybe at that point to acknowledge, I know how you feel. I know people that have been in the same situation, but then maybe take it a little bit deeper. Talk about when was the last time she did business with somebody that made a phone call? How was the experience? Maybe bring her back to that. If it was positive, then feed off the positive. This is what I can do for you. That's very similar. If it was negative, then take her away from the negative and try to turn it into, well, I understand that's how some people operate, but this is how I operate.
Score for Nicole is?
I'm sorry?
And your score for Nicole is?
I'd probably go with a 7.
Nice. All right. Thank you for that. Dave, Sumit, what'd you have for Nicole?
Thank you.
Yeah, I would rate Nicole 7. I think she did a really great job of kind of explaining her value to the physician and talking about how that she's highly sought after. So she kind of edified herself, but said the shift in the market because of COVID is one of the reasons she's gotten out of her comfort zone to reach out. So I think in many ways she did highlight her ability and being a very sought after person based on referrals. So I like that in terms of positioning herself. And I just think maybe
and your score for Nicole is?
Ron said she could have talked to the physician and asked what his issues are related to clients or dug into that so that she could have found.
And your score for Nicole is?
A 7.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, Sumit. Awesome job. Let's go. Chris, what'd you have, please, for Steve?
For Steve, I really like the way that he tried to get that objection out there that this is apples and oranges kind of thing. I would rate it a 7 or 8, 7.5. I like the way that he kind of had it down where he can kind of explain his value proposition. It was he was able to overcome and have a quick response to the idea of Chris Crone calling and saying, I can give you 150 homes, but it's not the same thing because this and this, the risk profile and all that. I really like that. So 7.5.
Nice. Well, thank you for that. Chris, Michael, please, what'd you have for Steve?
I love the passion and the depth of knowledge Very often when when I've dealt with some people trying to sell me something, they're not really explaining it very well. And I wonder how well they know what they really are selling. And he clearly knows it inside and out.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would add is he didn't really pull from Bella what her concerns were, so that they could have been addressed specifically.
And your score for Stephen is?
7.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Michael. That's round 1. Bella is back. We're ready for round 2. Steve, she just got off the phone with Chris Crone and his people, and her head's spinning. Please help this one. Bella, take us in.
Hey, Steve, I'm back.
Welcome back. All right, so give me the feedback on what Chris was offering you, and maybe we have either something more competitive or something more compelling.
Yeah, he's got a plot of 150 homes that we can invest in. They take care of the management of everything. They take care of all the things, and it's got about a 27% return on my investment.
27% sounds really, really aggressive. Is that an IRR? Is that an overall over the course of the entire investment? Kind of what is the investment horizon that you're looking at? And, are you going to be, how much of the capital stack are you going to be? Is this just an LP GP split? Kind of give me a little bit more about maybe the deal that you're working on that is offering you the 27%. A lot of our deals are more designated on a either yearly or IRR basis. So in a lot of scenarios, if the deal horizon's 5 years, you're looking at 17, 19% IRRs. So it'll be, for $1 in, it's $1 out. And so depending on kind of what your goals are, and perhaps our marketplace doesn't fit your criteria, and we'd love to talk to you at a later date in that case.
Yeah, gotcha. So when we talk about the differences of the investments, and I know Chris really well, and I know his character, and so sometimes it's like not always about the money, but it's about who we're doing business with. And so I'd be very interested to know just who you guys are, why, just being I know Chris very well, why would I want to go with you versus Chris?
Absolutely. So you make a really genuine point there, in the sense of a lot of our clients, they come to us also on a similar premise where they're really betting on the jockey rather than on the horse itself.
Yeah.
And so that relationship with Chris certainly makes you feel more comfortable. And so, it's going to be a hard hurdle to get over that. But the one thing that we can do is take kind of some small steps, baby steps, and initiate you maybe into a smaller deal so that we can get comfortable with us. Additionally, we can connect you maybe with a referral or two, see if somebody within your marketplace, or I noticed you're in the Miami market, my office is out of Brickell, happy to meet with you for a lunch. That way we can get to know each other, shake hands, have a coffee, and kind of get a little bit deeper into what we do. And if it does align with your interests and goals, and again, perhaps there's an opportunity that you'll work with Chris and with us at Smartland here.
That is amazing, Steve. I would definitely be interested in doing that. Thank you.
Yeah. Steve, excellent work, my friend.
Awesome.
Yeah, did a great job. High congruence, definite energetic transference, speed of communication. Steve, excellent job, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Nicole, Bella's back. The accountant's got some questions, but she needs help with her patient. So please, Bella, take us in.
Hi, Nicole. I'm back.
Hey, Bella, how you doing today? I'm glad to see you're back.
Yes, thank you. You were sharing a bit with me, and I was definitely interested in hearing, more. Definitely sounds like, you're of high integrity. The last thing I remember hearing is you will call me back.
That's correct. Actually, my law firm is the only all-women law firm in New York City, and we do handle Social Security, disability, and workers' compensation. So we do take a holistic approach where we not only get the benefits for our clients, but we try and help them map out future planning in terms of how they can deal with the loss of their full income, and are able to pull from Social Security, disability, workers' compensation, and their pensions. So we do have a lot of referral based upon that, word of mouth. So I think that we can assist you, and I would love to be able to meet with you and go over everything. But what I think we do have, and most firms don't, is that we have organized our firm to the point that each paralegal has a specialty. So what would interest you as a doctor is really a lot of times we have complaints about doctors who are not getting their bills paid or not getting their treatment authorized. We have designated paralegals just for those two purposes. And so you wouldn't have to call and get a runaround. You'd actually get a call from us before you call our office to let you know that we've already reviewed your request for treatment and we've already taken the steps to get it approved in court.
Got it. That sounds
Does that
amazing.
sound like something that can assist you?
Yeah, it definitely does, Nicole.
Excellent. What other concerns do you have? That I know that you expressed some concern about working with new attorneys. What other concerns have you had with other attorneys, and what makes you reluctant to work with them? I'd love to know if I can address those concerns.
Yeah, I just feel like, they're just always, just about the money, the billable hours, and don't really care.
Well, in workers' compensation and Social Security disability, there are no billable hours. I'm only able to obtain a fee if I win the case, but I have taken several cases that I knew I could not win money per se, but I could win the case for the client. So in Social Security disability, you're entitled to a fee if there's retroactive money. 25% is the fee. However, there are many times when I've had clients who are, about to die, unfortunately, cancer patients, or clients with low earnings, and we've never turned them away because we do speak and feel that our clients are like our family. And I think that's something that is rare, and that's who we are as people.
Excellent. Great job, Nicole. Bella, the IRS is at the door, so you have to get back to Nicole, please.
Yay, I love when the IRS comes to visit. They're going to bring me a check, because that's always why the IRS comes to visit, right?
Right. Awesome job, Bella. All right, so Nicole, are you ready to have some more fun?
Yeah.
Okay, so I either have a 1 or a 2 under the table. Is it a 1 or a 2?
2.
It is a 1. So Steve, that means you have the option to put me on the hot seat or pass it off to somebody else. And what that means is you get to set my scenario or pass it to somebody else here to set my scenario, where I now have to go from hello to yes, just like you, Nicole, did. And it could be any scenario in the world about anything at all. So would you like to do that, Steve, or pass it?
Sure. We can work on a scenario.
Yeah.
One
request. It's got to be integrous. So it's not selling swampland in London, so anything integrous, any scenario, as long as it is integrous.
Okay. No problem. We could do that. How about, selling me something on some cryptocurrency?
Awesome. Okay. So ready? So, yep. Hey, Steve, thanks so much. I know you only have 3 minutes. I know you're super busy, and first want to acknowledge you. Clearly I saw you on the Rail Raw. I love the bare knuckle brawl rise to the top of what you're doing. Clearly your congruence and the people you're doing business with and what's happening means you've done a lot of things right. So I just want to acknowledge you for that.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So question though, I know you're in the space of real estate in a huge way. What's the mission that you have? There seems to be an underlying, a kind of cynical, maybe, but certainly skepticism that circulates around your energy. So what's the mission, the vision? Because I know that people that succeed have big hearts, big whys, and please, what's yours?
Ours is really simple, as you kind of segued in that bare knuckle brawl. My family came here to bring me a better future, and our living conditions when we arrived in America weren't necessarily the best. And so part of that is that building a legacy for my kids, but leaving a legacy for them to be proud of, in the sense of that, hey, the firm that we grew up in knowing did an amazing job for other people's lives, and that begins with their living conditions. So if we're able to deliver something positive through our real estate venture, is really our ultimate goal. And so yes, money is a byproduct. However, if you're not doing it for the right reasons, there may be no money as a byproduct. So it's important to keep that really keen focus and be proud of what you do and what you own, and be able to put your name on it and not hide from that.
Awesome. I feel that. So thank you for opening up and sharing that vulnerably. Appreciate that. And in terms of your look at the investment world, a lot of complexity, right? We're in this crazy time and space of nobody really understanding what the heck is going on with the market. People have been predicting collapse, hyperinflation, all sorts of nuttiness. I know you're in real estate. What else do you look at, and what's your overall investment philosophy to build that legacy for your family, your kids?
For us, it's just maintaining a discipline and looking around you and understanding that, history, it's important to keep history in focus as you look at this kind of roller coaster ride that we're looking at, whether it be compressed interest rates, reduced cap rates, increase in values, and no matter what it is, it's maintaining that level of discipline and kind of staying steadfast to really what you believe in.
Yeah, awesome. And do you believe in having risk bucket, high return investment as a part of any part of your portfolio, where you're looking at opportunities that, obviously have risk, but could have much more uniquely higher rewards? Is that something you look at in any way, shape, or form?
I think ultimately there's a medium that we try to balance, and most of our ventures that we set off on are typically high reward, high value models. But in order to get there, it requires a significant amount of not only mental and physical strength, but adhering to being a true heavy lifter. So people use the word lift or heavy lift within the real estate industry, but unless you're really true to that, and you're not just doing some bare bones, common area floorings or just upgrade lighting renovation, signage, but really going in and doing the whole lift, including the unit, and integrating tech into it, really modernizing it and bringing these vintage properties back online and making them compete against modern day A-class facilities. I think that's really the critical area that we have to stay focused on and be able to deliver what we promise.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Steve. And would it be okay? I'm hearing hyper intentionality about your investment philosophy and what you're building. Would it be okay if I could share for 30 seconds or so before we break something that may or may not be of interest? And if it is, we could have a longer conversation. If not, I thank you for your time. Would that be okay?
Of course.
Yeah. So I work in the space. My name is Joe, and I work in the space that's really complicated. And that's the space of crypto. And I've looked at, Bitcoin and 900 other things. And I'm not in the space of, hey, I'm in it for the short run. I'm in it for the long haul. And I'm also not going to ask you to invest in something without downside protection. So there's a new crypto that's been created through some people that have been enormously successful in a variety of different investment ventures, from the more traditional equity markets to other spaces in crypto. And they have a high belief in what this offering is, with its downside protection, as well as its upside. And I'm a big fan of Ray Dalio's work. He wrote the book Principles. You may not know him. He talks about the fact that our portfolio needs 12 uncorrelated investments. Some people say he's one of the most successful advisors of all time. Take it or leave it. But I do believe in the fact that lack of correlation equals to balance and diversity. This asset class is going to be uncorrelated to the real estate markets, the equity markets, bond markets. And it's going to be something that, if there's an appetite for any degree of risk, even 5 to 10% of your portfolio, and for lack of correlation, this would be something to look at. So I know we're out of time. If any of that resonates, on my reputation, will show you something that, if you have any space for it, will absolutely resonate. I guarantee it. Or you can tell everybody and post it on your Facebook, never to meet with me again. So that's my proposal. What do you say?
Yeah, it sounds great. Let's have lunch and continue this conversation.
All right, out of roll. Steve, I have no doubt that you are a straight shooter. How did that resonate or not for you?
No, that was great. There are some good takeaways towards the end. I like some of those deliverables and really some of those affirmations that you threw in there. And, I thought it was nice.
Thank you. And I appreciate that. And I'm not confused about your sales acumen and influence mastery skill sets. So from you, I appreciate that. Okay. So let's go to judges and see what we had for that second round. Back to what Steve did, Nicole did. We're going to reverse the judges this time. And we will begin with, again, let's go Sumit. And what did you have for Steve?
Yeah, Steve, I think you did a really a good job of focusing on the role play, kind of digging into the needs. But what I liked more so on the second round was you actually you were more focused on Bella Verita as a physician, and then as you saw her leaning towards Chris Crone and that opportunity, you more so talked about small steps. And so rather than trying to really close and either write it off as a yes or a no, you actually just tried to incrementally build that relationship in a small way.
And your score for Stephen is?
I would rate Stephen about a 5.
Nice. All right. Well, Sumit, appreciate your feedback, everything that you brought to the table today on The Real Raw. And how was your experience with us?
Great. Yeah, I think it's always very insightful to see how people change from the first version to the second. I think it's interesting in terms of the approach to selling, and I valued it.
Yeah. And by the way, Sumit, Bella, just out of curiosity, I don't sell cryptocurrency or anything financial. So Bella, how do you think I did in that round?
I think it was phenomenal. Like your level 5 listening, you know, how you hear and see people like right off the bat is extraordinary. And my favorite thing of like what you do is you never reveal your unique heroic identity until somebody else sees their future in you, until you've built value for them. You do very little talking about yourself and just build value for the other person.
No, cool. Well,
I
great
think there's
job.
a formula for that, but
Yes. There absolutely is. And it's also just the assembly of truth, you know, like Ray Dalio does say what I just said, you know, and how we relate truth to people. So Sumit, again, thank you very much. Dave, what'd you have, please, for Steve?
Oh, I was so impressed with you, Sean. I just bought some Bitcoin while I was on the phone. That's so impressive. No, I thought, I'll tell you, Steve's like a bulldog, man. I like him. He's tough. But one of the ends I thought was great. I thought that what maybe he could have done is said to, you know, ask Bella, well, what's most important to you when making a decision on who you do business with? So when she talked about Chris and said, you know, I know him very well, you know, I'm loyal. That's great. Now say, wow, he's lucky to have somebody so loyal. What is it that he does, or what is it that he do? What is it that he did? What is it that he did to get you to feel that way?
Yeah. Nice.
And your score for him is?
Good feedback.
I'll give Steve a 6. I'll give Steve a 6.5 because I'm afraid he's going to run me over if I ever.
I'm going to go with this. Like, so first of all, Dave, thank you so much for being here. And like, how was your experience with us today?
I thought it was great. It was fun, but it was also enlightening to see how, especially like Michael said, with the absence of connection, to see how a couple other people run their business and their process.
Yeah. And listen, every day there's like group dynamics create influence. So as a group, we influence each other, and every day we see that in The Real Raw. Like there's certain energies and things that occur. So it is wildly interesting to me, and I can unpack it for about half an hour. I won't do it now. The scores that Steve got. For me, Steve was like a 9.5 to 9.8. Uniquely phenomenal. And that is not me causing disagreement with Dave and Sumit at all. What I'm suggesting is an energy can hit the air in the space, and it can create like a center of gravity pull that's going to be existing in every meeting you ever have. Like the waiter or waitress could come into a situation, cause energy in the situation. So it's super interesting, and it's a longer discussion for a different day. But yeah, listen, Dave, Sumit, awesome. I just want to say, Steve, you know, we do this every day. You were uniquely outstanding. So great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So let's go continue in our fun journey. Chris, please, what'd you have for Nicole?
I really liked, you know, I think Steve and Nicole did a really good job of elaborating on their knowledge base and make it very specific about what exactly they could do for the prospective client. one thing that I felt, and I really got this sense from listening to you, Sean, when you were talking, is that you immediately opened up the conversation about asking basically about their mission statement, in regards to the previous interaction that you had. And then you automatically said there, I'm only going to take a few minutes of your time. And then beyond that, you started asking them questions to elaborate upon their position. And then you responded and reciprocated with very, that like you actually listened, like you responded with, okay, yes, like this person has listened to me. They understand on a very deep level where I'm coming from in my methodology and how I think. And then you respond and say, okay, you give your value proposition and what you could do. And it's like no strings attached. This could be, may or may not be of interest to you, right? And so if you're calling somebody who is like really cold like that, they don't know you at all. It's like you come with that disposition. It's like this could be completely unnecessary or not relatable to you, relevant to you, but it very well could be. It could be really valuable. But the thing is, like I got from you, Sean, is that you were somebody who listened, was empathic, and was trying to align yourself with this person's overall goals and mission statement from the very beginning. Was very, concise, and I really like that. And I think,
thank you.
That was something that I took, that was, kind of a step beyond what Steve and Nicole were doing, but I think they both could very well implement that and make it more streamlined, the process of how they relate with cold calling. So that's what I would say.
Well, thank you. And listen, thank you for that. Influence is not a yes or no. Hey, I'm great with people. No, I'm not. It's a question of scale of mastery. There's a difference between Usain Bolt and the person who took third in the Olympics, and different than a Division I college athlete that's super successful. These are micro distinctions at tiny levels that make extraordinary differences overall. And just like for fun, there's scarcity, matching and mirroring, acknowledgement, level 5 transformational listening, level people unconditional and boundaries, emotional and energetic transference, reciprocity, question mastery, validation, congruence, context, contrast, four energies of God is Zeus, aspirational, and God is Zeus, aspirational and fun. And 4 steps: emotional rapport building, putting something at stake, heroic unique identity conveyance into pain and yes is step 2, and agreement formation. I don't do that to be impressive, maybe 1% to be impressive, but 99% to demonstrate that there's a scale of mastery, and how influence is unpacked. And I've had the privilege of having top jury verdicts, breaking sales records from stages, raising money for charity, because in the same way that you guys might play ping pong or somebody else may make an amazing cake, for 24 years, I've studied influence and what to do with it, and how the micro distinctions create macro, enormous differentials. In case that doesn't land, Paul Revere rode one way and woke up everybody, and William Dawes rode the other way and woke up nobody. Same people, but one guy woke up everybody, one guy woke up nobody, and the next day built the reality. The reality for Paul Revere is like, people care, they're amazing. William Dawes' reality is people suck, they don't want to wake up. But it was a difference, microscopic difference in their powers of influence that created all the difference and none of the difference. So thank you for that acknowledgement, Chris. It is received and very much appreciated.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Michael, please, what do you have for Nicole?
I really like the way that she inhabits who she is as an attorney. I mean, it's hard to, when as an attorney, I know that in speaking to prospective clients that, and they're talking about compassion, or they're talking about things that you could tell somebody you do, or maybe try to give them an example, but by remaining calm and authoritative and addressing her concerns directly, I'm able to picture how she is in front of an ALJ, able to picture how she would be in federal court. And it gave me some, it would give me some confidence as someone who she was talking to, that I could use her services, and maybe we wouldn't hit it off in every other way, but she sounded competent, and that's something that she delivered in. I'm going to give her an 8. By the way, I would have given Steve a 9, because his, from the first to the second, was just, it was complete. I thought it was completely transformed as far as, how better he interacted and still never lost any of that passion, You know, I could see, run into him in the supermarket and be like, hey, how's everything? And be like, we're transforming things into A-level places.
It's true. If you run into me in a supermarket, you're probably going to get that response.
And he carries strength, confidence, and certainty, like this swag, this is swagger.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And Michael, by the way, I would love to hear someday your stand-up routine, like just your energy, your modulated energy and tonality leads me to believe that I would find you to be hysterically funny. So I look forward to that, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you. This is great. A lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. Nicole, how was your day with us? Awesome job. Appreciate you. Thank you for your fun and silly sense of humor with our wacky interruptions with Bella and the IRS. Appreciated that. So how was your experience with us?
I thought it was great. I didn't look at any videos, so I had nothing to know or prepare for. I didn't know how this format was. I'm a little bit low energy today. As I stated, my dad just got out of the hospital, so I've been in the hospital with him for 7 days. So I'm a little bit more passionate normally, but I thought it was a great experience. The difference in how, Stephen transformed from the beginning to the end, I loved it, and I could see it and I could understand it. And even how Chris broke down what you did, Sean, I could see it, and it was great to hear about that transference of the energy and everything like that. So I think it was very enlightening. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, thank you. And how's your dad doing?
Well, he's waiting for his pain meds, but he's okay. He had a slip and fall in the house. He's 84, but he's a former boxer, so he never stays down. He's coming back. He's good.
I feel that energy. You got boxing, and your dad's in our thoughts and prayers. And we got bare knuckle brawler, Steve. Thank you, Nicole. So, Steve, by the way, what country did you immigrate from?
Ukraine, former CCCP.
Yeah, amazing. I'm feeling it, and my partner in the law firm, one of my partners that co-created top 100 national jury verdicts, his family hails from Ukraine as well, and so where he was born. So
awesome.
Very, very cool. Yeah. So thank you for being here. How was it for you?
Oh, it was excellent. It was a lot of fun. Fun afternoon. I don't do a lot of role play. Perhaps we should do more of it. But overall, great experience. Nice group of people. Seems like everybody aligns well. Appreciate the nice feedback. And as Nicole mentioned, I kind of went into this venture without any pre-programmed knowledge. I didn't watch any videos. I just kind of wanted to see for myself what it was about, and it was a nice experience.
Thank you. You and Nicole were very impressive, and I'm not confused then why you're both successful. So thank you for being here.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Bella, over to final sales sorceress.
Final, as I agree, this is a fantastic group of individuals, and we invite you back for a personal experience with Sean.
I'm going to interrupt for 1 second, which I do a lot, so I apologize. But I want to acknowledge this. Different days on the show, like there's different energies. Like sometimes like super heart-centered and aspirational. Sometimes I have a lot of fun and silliness. This was like a super no-nonsense group. And I love when we have that. Like that's like 1 out of 10 shows is like that. It was very direct, very no-nonsense. But I think we came to a beautiful place. So I just want to acknowledge that and see what you thought, Bella, and back to you.
Yeah, what was present for me as, I was listening was how... what's the word I'm looking for is how much you truly care. Tony Robbins says there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity, and how you can take a group of highly successful individuals and open listening and deliver value is always mind-blowing to me. And that was what was really present, the masterful art of opening listening, because that's where it is that we make the biggest difference in the world, because you can't make a difference in someone's life if their listening isn't opened. And you open listening from such a heart-centered way like I've never seen before. And it's something that you actually teach. And so everybody is invited back on Monday night to learn the formula of how he does that, how Sean has raised $700,000 in 30 minutes, why Tony Robbins says he's the person to watch, that there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity, and has the opportunity to work with Adam Gugino, who built a company from 3 million to 750 million in 3 years, 0 sales team to a team of 500. and Fernando, who's had over 1,000 hello to yes conversations in a year. These individuals are masterful at this art. And so you definitely want to come back and unpack what that art is for you so you can have more time, money, and magic. And someone on the team will reach out to you. And you might even be able to get on a call with one of those guys.
No, well, thank you. And it will be an honor and privilege to have any of those folks talk to you guys. As, of course, Bella, you are a rock star. No Bella, no Real Raw. This is masterful. It's fun, heart-centered, and truly thank you, everybody, for being here. Steve, Nicole, Sumit, Dave, Chris, Michael. A lot of fun today. And when people are sharp, it like keeps us on our toes. And Nicole and Steve, you brought sharp, and we love it. So thank you, guys. Have a beautiful day.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Awesome.
take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
A lone fool